out of my wellness, my self-growth and healing journey, I think this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michelle Gabrielle, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I got from this to this. If you've been here for me from the jump, you can probably tell that I look a little different. Yes, I have been on my fitness, wellness, weight loss journey. It's been a long time. There has been a lot of ups and downs. And I'm sorry y'all if y'all are hearing something in the background. Maintenance decided to have a party in the hallway. But I just wanted to come on here to share my journey. I haven't reached my goal yet, but I definitely want to bring y'all along on that process. But I'm just gonna tell y'all the whole background. I'm not trying to talk a lot, but boom. So in 2018, when I started my freshman year in college, by the end of the first semester of college, I worked my way up to like 196. I think that's what I weighed myself, and I was like, wait, hold on. 196. And to be honest, I wasn't even that big. I think my body carries weight like just very differently. I don't think anybody would assume that I was almost 200 pounds, but boom, I was 196, probably 197 or 198 to be honest. And I was like, like the next semester, some gonna have to shake, because we gonna have to shake, we're gonna shake this weight off, because that ain't it. So that whole next semester, I was like, all right, let me start going to the gym. I hated it. I was doing any type of diet, water, fasting, only fruit diet, just trying to do anything, because I just wanted to drop the weight off so bad. Sometimes not even eating, just like not the best, not the healthiest. So I would not recommend. But I was able to drop the weight. I think I was able to like get to 170. I don't think I ever passed 160, but I think I was able to get to 170. I don't really remember where like my weight averaged out on, because I really wasn't weighing myself. Once I got home at freshman year, I think I was pretty like stable in my weight. But during that summer, I started working as a Y camp counselor, so I was walking a lot, so that was like my daily exercise the whole summer, but I just still wasn't eating enough. I remember only having like sometimes 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day, just wasn't eating enough. So fast forward my sophomore year in college, doing the same thing, wasn't really eating the best, and still heavy on like sugar and all that stuff. And also when I lost weight the first time, because I wasn't eating enough, I just didn't look defined. Like, you know, there wasn't no definition. It was just very flat in my opinion. I mean, I had some curves here and there from like the weight gain, but in my opinion, it was just like it's not compared to how it is now. So yeah, sophomore year, I'm going to the gym here and there, but not really. Still wasn't eating enough. But the next semester again, that's when I was like, all right, that's what also helped. I started cooking myself, because I had a kitchen to myself and I didn't have a meal plan. So I started going to Trader Joe's more often, because I live right across the street. So I started cooking a lot of my meals. But at the same time, I really didn't know what I was doing. But for the most part, I was able to like stay like in a pretty good range of the weight loss I had originally lost my freshman year. Move on, Corona. Y'all, Corona and quarantine. Like, look, I don't know about you, but sugar was eaten and not doing nothing, staying sedentary. How you say that? Sedentary. Just going back into old habits. Was barely eating healthy foods, eating it here and there. Definitely heavy on the junk food. For me, I'm not like the chips and salty type of person. I'm the sweet type of person. I like cookies, cake, ice cream, the chocolate bars, all that stuff. That's my go-to. And within that May, June, July, and then August, within those 4 months, I definitely gained all that weight that I lost freshman year, gained it right back, and I was probably back to close to weighing 200 again. And I'll insert some pictures for y'all. And I was so, because I ended up moving back out. I remember telling my roommate, like, girl, I looked in the mirror and I said, is that really me? It's like, dang, like, all that progress just gone. That's when I started again trying to do any type of diet, any type of tips, tricks to like lose the weight quickly, getting back into unhealthy eating habits, eating well for like a couple days and then binging or not eating enough, eating like one meal a day, all of those stuff. And of course you're gonna see results. But my first semester junior, within that semester, I think the most that I was able to get down to was probably like 173, but that's like really from not having enough in my system. So as soon as I started eating, I went back to like 183. After that, I moved back home again. But January of 2021 is when I did a whole month fast with my church. I was able to like get down to I think like 173 again from not eating. So of course when I stopped the fast, the weight gained back, and I think I was stuck at like 185 for a very long time. But it was kind of weird because I think that's around the time my body started doing like a recomposition, because although I was 185, it didn't really look like it. And like people would still say like I look pretty slim, and like the weight in my stomach originally just wasn't there as much. It was just really my thighs. Fast forward that whole year up into 2021. So last year, July, I think like July 23rd or June 23rd, I'll put it up here somewhere. That's when I was like, yeah, like I really want to be serious. Enough is enough. I want to reach my goals. And that's when I really incorporated meal prepping for real, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, going to the gym frequently. And all that whole time I was going to the gym, still being stagnant, not seeing progress. And of course it was still because I was not being serious about my diet. Yep, started going to the gym again, started meal prepping, and I definitely started seeing progress. And then there was a moment around the time in August, I had to go get a minor surgery because my digestive system is trash. And I'm pretty sure it's because my diet has always been trash, but my digestive system was trash. So I had to get a procedure done. And after getting that procedure done, I was just like, Michelle, like you really need to fix this because I don't have time to be doing it. It was so painful. I do not have the time to be doing this all the time and still having this health issue my whole life. No. So I was just like, all right, come on, let's be serious. Like, every moment where I was just fed up, didn't want to do it anymore, and my digestive issues were like coming back again. It's like, come on, do you really want to go through this all over again? Do you want to keep going through this process all your life? And that was one of the main motivators for me to be intentional. It wasn't just about weight loss and reaching my body goals. It was really about health. And that was one of the main motivators for me to be serious, because now your health is in risk. Now this is affecting other areas of your life. Now this is really affecting you internally, and you're still young, like you're only 21. So what are you gonna do when you're up in your 30s, 40s? Come on, let's be serious, you know? So that happened, and that's when I was doing research, and I heard that like reducing your meat intake would help a lot with your digestive tract. So that's what I tried at being a vegetarian for 2.5 months, and it wasn't actually a terrible experience, but it definitely did make me lose weight quicker, which was cool. But the issue with being vegetarian, my iron from the jump was already low, but starting the vegetarian diet, my iron was like gone. I had no energy. It was just really not good at all. So that's when I was like, yeah, I don't want to continue doing it. Yes, I'm seeing results. Yes, it's helping in certain ways, but if I'm always going to be no energy, like this really ain't it. And I wasn't really into like taking all that many protein supplements. And in regards to like my weight loss journey, not having no protein again made me look really flat, you know. Fast forward that fall, once we got on break, I was just like, let's go back to meal prepping. Mind you, that semester was really bad for me, so I really wasn't able to meal prep the way I wanted to, and I was falling back into habits of really not eating as much as I should have been eating. But I was like, let's be really serious, let's prioritize this. And that's when I started like meal prepping. I'll show y'all like the screenshots, the notes I kept of meal prepping, of having 3 meals a day and having snacks, because when you're in a caloric deficit, well, for me, I really need to be eating more frequently, because 3 meals a day, yeah, it's cool, but like I'm the type of person who will still have like some type of munchies, you know. So having snacks for me really helped. Of course, they're not like really any bad snacks, mainly like fruits, dried fruits, all those type of things, yogurt and all those stuff. I'll probably do another video going into details of like things that I swapped out, but I was serious about that. I said, all right, you're going to the gym. Well, let's make your going to the gym sustainable. Let's just do 3 times a week, because that's not burning yourself out. So combined with meal prepping, going to the gym 3 times a week, progressive overload with weightlifting, you're bound to see results. Like, you might not see them as quick as you want to see them, but you're definitely going to see them. So that's what I've been doing since, I would say, the middle of December up until now, and now it's like mid-March, and I definitely seen some progress. Of course, my weight was already low to begin with, but in terms of like having muscle definition, just having energy, like the health benefits of eating healthy and staying with a balanced diet, you know, cutting out my sugar intake, because girl, sugar messed up my skin so bad, but my skin is finally clearing up. I'm really glowing, all that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like the background. That's where I'm at now. I just wanted to tell y'all that real quick until I get into details about other things regarding my weight loss journey. I'm just gonna go into like 6 main things for me that I took into account to like really be consistent, because consistency is really key, is what I realized, and having the mindset that this is long term. So changing habits, that's one of the biggest things that I had to realize. Michelle, it doesn't matter how many times you go to the gym, it doesn't matter how healthy you eat, if you don't change your habits, you're always going to be back on this loop of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. So my top 2 things, big factor in me keeping on weight, was 1, I didn't know how to say no when I was full, and 2, binging on sweets. I'm pretty sure the first one probably stemmed from childhood. When I was younger, I had to eat all my food, so I always been in the habit of whatever is in the plate, it has to get finished, regardless if I'm full or not, regardless if my stomach is like bloated and I feel sick, like you need to eat regardless. And that's one of the negative mentalities that is going to keep me in the same loop, because when you're able to say like, no, I'm actually full, I don't want to eat this anymore, and just like listening to your body is so helpful. And like I said, the second thing, my sugar addiction, and right now it's still something that I'm still struggling with. I definitely got it down packed with being able to say no to being full, but my sugar intake is still something that I've been struggling with. It'll probably be a separate video of how I've been like trying to keep it under control. And yeah, like it's really not that healthy for you. Yes, once in a while that's cool, but having it consistently, not knowing your serving size and binging, that was my issue. 2, diets are trash. Diets are trash, and starving yourself is trash, and it's never going to help. Well, let me not say diets are trash, because I know some people seen a lot of progress in doing diets, but as for me, diets have been trash, because for me it's really like you need to think long term. So if you're saying, oh, I'm cutting out all carbs for like 3 months, and then you start eating them again, you're gonna gain the weight back. For me, I think the best thing is just having a balanced diet. Too much of anything is a bad thing, honestly. Example is, if I cut down all the sugar, then one day I'm gonna go ham on it. So why not just keep it sporadically, not having it all the time, but having it once in a while is cool. And starving yourself, trash. The biggest mistake that I ever did in this journey, starving yourself is the worst thing you can possibly do, because it creates bad eating habits, it creates a bad relationship with food. No, like you need to eat, and seeing food as energy, that's something that really changed my mindset on things. Number 3, weight training. Weight training changed things significantly, because there's so many times where I've been the same weight but look completely different because of weight training and resistance training. Just really seeing like my arms just really seeing the fat go away, because sometimes I was the same weight but I just still look so fluffy, and it's just fun. Like I started having a lot of fun doing it. So weight training. Number 4, meal prepping, and this goes back to diets are trash. Meal prepping, if you already have what you're set out to eat that week, then it really stops you from going out your way to go get food, from just eating anything because you're just hungry in the moment. It really helps you say, okay, well, I already know what I'm eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes, it's annoying to take the time out and plan this stuff out, because I'm not the type of person who likes having my life be everything. I'm a spontaneous person, so that planning out my food, yes, it will be annoying. Yes, it's like, oh dang, I'm eating the same thing for the whole week, but you got to do the opportunity cost, you know. It's really not that deep, and the next week you can make something completely different and always finding new meals to make. It's really fun for me. Yes, it's annoying at times. Look, you got to get how you get it. Number 4, cutting down on sugar. It's so interesting for me to like meet people who are not sugar crackheads like me, because but it can really get in the way of your goals. But like I just said before, not cutting it out completely, but definitely keeping it under control. The very last thing is be prepared for it to take a long time. I know some people, they come on here and they're like, yep, in 3 months I lost this amount of weight. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. 1, 2, everybody's genetics are different. 3, you just never know. But when I started having the mindset of this is probably going to take a year to get to, this is probably going to take 2-3 years for you to really reach peak capacity of where you want to be at, that's when my mentality started changing. Even when there were days where I did binge again, or I did go over my caloric intake by a lot, it was never, oh dang, I have to beat myself up. You have a lot of time. You have so much time to unlearn habits, learn new habits, be consistent in this journey. So be prepared for it to take a long time. When you have this very narrow, I have from January to March to lose this amount of weight, it puts so much pressure on you, and you probably end up going back more than you go forward. Be prepared for it to take time. Put a year now of where you want to get to, and then when you reach that goal even before the year, that's even better, you know. So those are the 6 things that I wanted to talk about. And I also wanted to talk about the 7 like mindset things that I kept in my head, because like I said, it started shifting from I just want to lose the weight and I just want to look a certain way to prioritizing my health. Sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves when we're not seeing progress, but we're not realizing that you're already practicing being healthy. Like, you already done it. You already made it. Like, girl, you've already made it. You just did a whole day of eating well and exercising. Like, girl, you already did it, you know? So yeah, so I'm gonna just go through it. As long as I'm eating food that is nutritionally good for my body, as long as I'm disciplined enough to stop eating when I'm full, as long as I can listen to my body when it's hungry and go eat, as long as I'm disciplined enough to not grab sweets just because it's there, as long as I'm staying active, as long as I'm not starving myself, and as long as I'm disciplined enough to not spend money on food and snacks every time I go out. So yeah, those were like the 7 little things that I try to keep in my head to realize it's not just about looking on that scale to see a specific number. It's really you being healthy. You already reached the goal. You've already been practicing this for months. It's bound to happen. It's bound to come. You're bound to reach that point and reach your goal, even if it takes a little longer. So yeah, that's my video on like my weight loss journey. Out of my wellness, my self-growth and healing journey, I think this is probably like one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, if I'm being honest, because look, it takes a lot of work, and I commend everybody who's on their fitness journey, whether you're gaining weight or losing weight. Like, kudos to y'all, because this is hard. It's not easy. Once again, it was your girl Michelle Gabrielle. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stop what you're doing. Subscribe. Subscribe. I don't know which way it is, but subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Join the family. Follow my TikTok. Follow my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Let's stay connected if you want to see more of my face. And yeah, bye you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.